What's up, guys? Episode 15. Bang, bang, 15. Two hands. What up? Can count. So, we got Grimey Breaks on, aka Grimey. He is a great friend, tons of laughs, a lot of fun. Just, all around great guy. He does live breaks on Instagram, card collector, sports, Pokemon. Big, big emphasis on Pokemon. What to invest in, what to check out, what to look forward to. Everything else in between, as I always like to say, we're getting to it. And, it's everything as far as card goes. I just ate two cookies, a little bit high energy. Hope you guys enjoy. It's nice, it's chill. Play it in the background, play it on the big screen, whatever you guys want. We're on SoundCloud, YouTube, uh, iTunes, iPhone, iPod, everything. Catch me. All right. Enjoy. I'll catch you guys later. Later. Be safe.
How did you get started? That's always I like to start with the origins.
How would I get started? All
Yeah.
right, so this is it's actually cool now, but Saving Lost Souls is also in the group.
Mhm.
I remember when I joined the Discord, everyone was sharing like their social media. So I was like, all right, cool, let me share mine too. Followed
Mhm.
a bunch of people, and I saw people pull up in this guy's live Saving Lost Souls. So I was like, all right, sweet, let me pull up.
Mhm.
And then he was like, I mean, he was selling cards. He was doing sports. So I was like, oh, that's dope. Like,
Mhm.
I dealt with Pokemon back in the day.
Yeah.
I collected it. And, like, when it comes to basketball and football,
Mhm.
I'm really big on them. But recently, I was, like, very big on football. So I was
Mhm.
like, shoot, that's dope. So I bought off of him. And then, like, I kind of just liked the idea.
Mhm.
And, like, it was probably like 4 or 5 months later is when I was like, you know what? Because I was trying to do, like, a shoe page
Mhm.
and I couldn't get it going. Due to like, I mean, the biggest thing was I don't have knowledge on shoes, bro. So it was kind
Mhm.
of tough for me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what's hot and stuff. So I just switched over to cards, and yeah, I mean, I've kind of started booming there. The first 2 weeks that I went live, it was just like my family buying off of me. So I was like, ah, cool, like I'm selling this, but then again, it's just my family, so like, kind of doesn't count. I know like a few people do collect, so I mean, I was like, okay, that's cool, but
Mhm.
it wasn't until like week 3 or 4 where like I got like one or two new people, like people I'd never met,
Mhm.
and they bought from me. So I was like, okay, that's cool. And then just little by little, that little um, word of mouth, and
Mhm.
people just started pulling up. So yeah,
Uh,
that's I give a lot of credit to Souls, and he's actually we're real good buddies now. So that's my boy. We talk on the day to day now. So it's
nice.
pretty cool. Yeah.
And so, like, have you just always been into Pokemon, or because most of your breaks that I've seen are
Mm,
not as much sport related, or at least that's just what I've caught. So, like,
mm.
most of them are more Pokemon related. And for me, like, closing out my 20s, like, I don't know shit outside like the
Yeah.
first like two or three generations of Pokemon. But like,
Yeah,
you're
for
sitting
real.
there just fucking name dropping and getting hyped, and I'm just like, oh shit, I don't know who that guy is either. I guess I can't do this.
Yeah. The thing with it is, I'll say so. I do want to do sports eventually,
Mhm.
but it's especially in my area. Like LA is just tough to get your hands on anything.
Mhm.
So I mean, I'm able to get my hands on Pokemon a little easier.
Mhm.
Plus, it's a little cheaper. Once you get into sports, you start getting into even retails like 3, 4 times
Mhm.
overpriced. So it's tough to get your hands on. Plus, you have hobby boxes, which are crazy. But I
Right.
mean, with Pokemon, once I got, because I never collected when I was a kid. I remember like my family members and stuff, they all collected. So I would
Mhm.
go through their collections, their binders. Like, dude, this is sick. But once I got a job and then I started getting into Pokemon, like collecting, I was like, oh, bro, I've never had a collection. Like, all I did growing up was like play video games and that's it.
Mhm.
So I pretty much just picked up Pokemon cards. And that's actually during XY. Um, Pokemon XY.
Mhm.
So I was big on like one of the big ones, Evolutions, bro. I remember
Mhm.
buying Evolutions booster boxes for like 120
Yeah.
and ripping the whole box to like try to get the cards I wanted. But yeah, that's the thing. I just so I was pretty knowledgeable with Pokemon cards, like knowing, all right, these are the rares, these are the commons, they all have the
Mhm.
stamps. Plus you just learn over time also, like, all right, these are differences between like the V cards, the textured V cards, V maxes,
Mhm.
whatever the case is, and like the secret rares also. So
Mhm.
I mean, I watched a lot of um YouTube videos, so like
Yeah.
I'll watch Leonhardt and stuff,
Yeah.
um, tons of guys. So yeah, I mean, I just had more knowledge, and even right now, I don't have too much knowledge on sports. The only thing I really know is like retail, Prism football,
Mhm.
um, what's the other one? Mosaic football and basketball,
Mhm.
and NBA hoops. But outside of that, I don't know too much of the other hot stuff.
Mhm.
So like that's another thing. I'm trying to learn it also.
Mhm.
Like I'll sell retail stuff where I know like, okay, these are the parallels to look for.
Mhm.
This is what that is. So, but I mean, yeah, I collected Pokemon for a solid like three years.
Mhm.
So that's why I just know Pokemon like that. And even if it's like you said, because sometimes I don't even know the Pokemon, but like with time, I'm like, okay, cool. Like this is actually a dope Pokemon, or like if I like the artwork, whatever the
Mhm.
case be.
Yeah, I kind of look at Pokemon at this point mainly because of Wiz and shit, but as art because of just the level of quality that's going into the cards and stuff to that extent. So like when you see that Rainbow Charizard like off the rip, it's like, oh, that thing's pretty fucking awesome. Like it's
Yeah.
just, I mean, the pieces that they've came out with in terms of like the EX and stuff like that that's in those evolution boxes are amazing.
Yes.
So for me, like that's definitely where it comes from. I guess
Yeah.
like for you, I kind of wanted to push back a little bit, I guess, harder, just because it's top of mind as far as scalping goes. Because a lot of people look at like what we do as scalping, right? But at the
Mhm.
end of the day, like I think that rich people would buy out most of these cards if it wasn't possible, right? Like you already see this
Mhm.
happening in the digital space, which we'll get into. But
Yeah.
for me, like I think that this allows somebody who doesn't have the money to say buy, a full hobby box or buy boxes at a time to be able to buy a couple of, packs instead of, dropping as much money. And so I think,
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess what's your take on it?
So the scalping thing, it's kind of like, and I don't mean like a funny way, like a disrespectful way to people who call it scalping,
Mm-hmm.
but in all honesty, like it's been happening forever.
Mm-hmm.
Like this, it's always been a thing. It's just with the whole COVID spike, everyone being at home trying to collect now, they're seeing how hard it really is to get their hands on things.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember back in the day, it wasn't this hard. It,
No.
it wasn't this hard, but it definitely was hard to find certain products in
Mm-hmm.
store, especially sports. I think sports has kind of always been like this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I remember Pokemon, it was tough, dude. Like I'd go to the store and like I wasn't keeping up with sets as much
Mm-hmm.
when I had first started, like the first year. I would kind of just buy Pokemon and be like, oh, this is cool. This is cool. Like, let me buy this, buy these packs. But I mean, it's always been an issue, like trying to get your hands on the hottest stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So scalp, I mean, I get it, but it's also like the thing with people calling other people scalpers, it's like, okay, well, if if you could get your hands on it, you'd be doing the same thing too.
Mm-hmm.
Like everyone's trying to trying to make a little coin, but like I do like what you brought up about being able to buy a hobby box and like sell them by the packs.
Mm-hmm.
That's a cool thing because like for example, Souls, when I joined his live,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I remember that I bought two packs, and actually this is cool. I always have this card. I have two cards sitting at my desk. I have a bunch, but this one is actually, and it's been sitting on my desk, bro. Like never leaves my sight.
Mm-hmm.
This card is AJ Dillon. He's a rookie running back for the Packers. So check it out. Pretty neat card. It's an
Yeah.
autograph numbered down here
Mm-hmm.
with the patch.
Yeah.
And the thing with that is, so I spent $30 on this pack, and I
Mm-hmm.
pulled this card out of it. So it's like, dude, like I can't afford no $300 hobby box. So like you said, it's nice being able to purchase that, and then now like with Pokemon, I'm in the position where I'll buy like uh hidden fates ETBs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll sell some ETBs. Like some people are willing to buy a whole ETB, but some
Mm-hmm.
people they're like, I just want like a pack or two.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, shoot, I'm all for it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's why I'm doing it. That way, uh, it's tougher for people to drop 180 on a box to
Yeah.
rip 10 packs. And it's easier for them to be like, oh, you know what? Let me get two packs for,
Mm-hmm.
like $30 or whatever the case is. Depends. It all depends on the market. Market's just crazy
Mm-hmm.
with everything, but especially with cards right now. Cards is just an insane one.
Yeah.
But that's one thing that I love the most about it is being able to have things that people can't just go out and buy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's a huge thing for me.
Yeah.
Another thing too is because one of my uncles out here, he has a shop local,
Mm-hmm.
and
I'll
he
give it a shout
bought
out.
it. Yeah, a quick shout out. So AB Pop Shop out here, but he bought this. It was like a $3,000 booster box.
Mhm.
He was selling the packs for like 100,
Which one was
and
it?
it's XY Flashfire.
Okay.
So this set's super dope because it has like 7 or 8 Charizards. It's crazy.
Nice.
Um, and it's from like 2014. But the thing with that, it's like people are like, really, 100 a pack? It's like, yeah, but I mean, the booster box is only $3,000.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's giving people the opportunity to at least be like, dang, dude, I ripped one of these. People who
Yeah.
are just getting into hobby.
Mhm.
So that's the biggest thing about it.
Mhm.
Being able to, get people to buy stuff they can't normally buy.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, so like early on with me, like I just had some success, and the guy Danny Phantom, I don't know if you follow him on YouTube
Mm-hmm.
too. He's like similar. So like he was
Poke
doing,
Coliseum.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So he was doing like a drop with like the jungle boxes, and so like Rishi reached out and he was like, "Oh, you want to hop in on this?" And I was like, "I don't know, bro. Like I just had to I had just put a down payment on my girlfriend's ring, and then like he put it
Yeah.
into like the Pokemon chat, and then fucking somebody else hopped in, and then somebody else hopped in. I was like, fuck it, my girlfriend gets something, I get something, and so, like
Hey, you
so
gotta.
I just like hopped in on it. But I'm not like, think about it. If you bought $800 a pack, what does a jungle box cost? Like scale that up to the same ratio of one for like 100 for 36 packs, right? It's
Yeah, exactly.
it's guap. Like I'm never affording that. Like that's never happening.
Exactly.
So it's like, fuck it, I'll do 800. You know what I mean? Like, was it stupid? Yeah, kind of, because it's gambling. But
Yeah.
I was successful. I don't think anybody else was, but I got blessed a little bit by the Poke Gods.
Ni-
But
nice.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's that opportunity into like that, whatever, just people who wouldn't spend the
Mhm.
money otherwise to open a couple or whatever, and
Yeah.
it's the same as buying a lottery ticket, right? Like I'm buying the Mega Millions
Yeah.
in New York City right now. It's at like 970 million. I know I'm never gonna fucking win, but it's the
Yeah.
dream, right? Like it's the
It's
possibility.
yeah. No, I feel it, and I mean I agree with that.
Mhm,
It is like gambling. Like when it gets to sets like that,
mhm,
it's like okay, yeah, my chances are super slim. I'm spending a lot on the pack, but it's a pretty cool thing to experience.
mhm,
You're like, I was able to open. Like how many people could say? Because I personally can't
mhm,
say, I ever opened up like a fossil pack or a jungle
mhm,
pack or base set. Like I never did, whether I was around it back in the day. Yeah, but I never personally ripped one, so
mhm,
it'd be a cool thing. And I mean, there's just different levels to it because you think about Pokemon packs, even the $5 packs, it's just $5. There's just different levels to it.
mhm,
It's like okay, if I could get like let's say Darkness Ablaze, $5 a pack. Okay, cool. I could pull a Charizard out of this.
mhm,
Same thing with Champions Path. Champions Path is a little more. It's trending anywhere from like $8 to $10
mhm,
on the resale market,
mhm.
and it's the same thing. I'm trying to get the Charizard. It's not guaranteed,
Yeah.
and that's the thing with Pokemon that makes it a little tougher. That's why I do like sports. So like I'm starting to PC personal collect a lot of sports.
Mhm.
Basketball, I do Lakers. I'm a huge Laker fan,
Uh-huh.
and for football, I PC Alvin Kamara, Saquon Barkley, and then they're the main ones, and then other people here and there receivers.
Mhm,
So my thing with that is the cool thing about sports is yeah, let's say there's a blaster
mhm,
that's you spent $80 on. The amount of it it's still gambling, but the amount of players you could pull who are worth something
mhm,
is it's pretty crazy. Like this last draft class, you have Zion, John Morant, R.J. Barrett, Tyler Hero, Kobe White. You just have tons of people. Like the list goes on and on. So
mhm,
it's nice with sports because there's all like it kind of feels like let's say I say, and there's no real number. It's just the number I like to use is 60 to 70% of the time you're gonna be winning
mhm.
because you're gonna get one of the stud players,
Yeah.
and it'll kind of replenish some of the money you spent on the box,
Mhm.
especially if you hit like a big time player like John Morant
Yeah.
or Zion. So that's the cool thing with sports. But I mean, yeah, that's the same thing with Pokemon. All cards is like gambling. There's still value in
Loot
almost everything
boxes.
you pull, but yeah. but that's the thing with it, and I mean it's the fun of it. Like at least with this, you're with cards, you're getting something.
Mhm.
Yeah. And the thing with older sets too, like older sets, sometimes even like trainer cards are worth something. It
Yeah.
might not pay off what you paid for the pack. You could pay like 800 for a pack
Mhm,
and only get back like 300-400.
mhm,
At least but that just proves the point that the cards in that set are valuable.
mhm. Yeah. I think I I've never really like opened a ton of cards because I just don't know enough about sports personally. But like I ripped like the Chrome baseball boxes that we bought like a while ago, like around I don't even know, like September, October. They were like
Okay.
$300 a box. There was like 36 cards per box. It
Yeah.
was an insane cost. And then one night I was like, fuck it, and I was drinking and I opened them all. And I swear to
That
God,
impulse rip.
yo, I swear to God, I think the total value in all the cards that I ripped is probably I don't even know, $200 out of like $1,000 worth of like rips.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah, that's crazy.
what the fuck? Like what the fuck? Like I
Yeah.
just it was a bad time. I was like, cause okay, so I guess back to the earlier point. My thought process in terms of opening one to then three was, well, surely I can't brick all fucking three, right? That was my
Yeah.
logic, right? Clearly, we've seen like the kid Wesley open like 20 boxes of Champion's Path and not hit a fucking Charizard. So
That
some
was
people,
tough.
yes, so some people just get fucked. But
Yeah.
overall, it's like, so in terms of like the scalping aspect, right? If you don't purchase right and then like flip and then do other things, my personal take is what's to stop like a really affluent person from coming in and buying out everything to then rip
Hmm.
himself, and the numbers are on your side that you're going to hit some insane card, right?
Yeah.
Like if you buy, like if you have, if I was like a millionaire, multi-millionaire, I would buy every box possible, because if you buy every box possible, eventually you're going to hit that, sign LeBron or sign Kevin Durant, or
Yeah.
like something insane. And so it's just a numbers game. And if you have the money, you will eventually make your money back on it, right? Like you
Yeah.
can gamble a lot longer. And like what you're saying, that 60%, 70% wins. I think that if you push that outwards and you just buy out a ton of boxes and you're really affluent, you could have that next Mickey Mantle card or whatever, this year's LeBron James card or this year's crazy rookie cards. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know who's been ripping uh with Gasper, but Gasper was mentioning Drew, and I don't know if it's Drew who I had on the podcast or another guy, but he hit like 3 Zions or something
Yeah.
like that. And it's like, like you can't lose if you hit 3 fucking Zions. Like I don't care how many boxes you fucking open. You hit fucking 3 Zions.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And that's where, cause like I said, no matter which product you're opening, like if you pull a Zion, you pretty much pay for like what you got. So let's say if you get like a cello pack or a blaster
Mhm,
of whatever product you get, like you pull a Zion, that's paying for that box.
mhm,
But what like there's tiers, there's levels to the sport. So yeah, like the higher up you go. For example, on Saving Lost Souls, on his live the other day, I think it was I don't know if it was on Saturday. It was sometime within the last week.
mhm.
Dude, he pulled like 4 Zions. It was ridiculous. And one of the Zions, dude, no lie, raw was selling for like 200-300 bucks.
That's insane.
Crazy. It's like 3-4 times more than the guy spent. So like that's the thing.
Mhm,
It's just like you said, yeah, in theory, I just, dude, honestly, I was talking about this with one of my boys. I was like, bro, if I had, I was like, if I had more money, like more capital, if I had like, let's say 5 Gs to blow,
mhm,
like, dude, I'll freaking buy like 3 grand worth of like Prism football. I'll
mhm,
sit on half of it and then sell the other half. Half of that will replenish what I spent with the other stuff.
mhm,
Well, it all depends too, because if you buy a lot of the times, um, I'm buying resale prices.
mhm,
I try to get as I pay over retail but under resale, so I
mhm,
try to find that sweet spot. But
mhm,
that's the thing. If you could at least make some of the money back with selling half that lot and then just being able to sit on the lot, because dude, like Prism football is gonna blow up once
mhm,
next season starts. Because there's gonna be no more product of it. They're gonna be on to the new season. It's like
mhm.
okay, 2019, 2020 done. 2020, 21 is now printing.
Yeah.
So now the old year, and then it helps that like Justin Herbert.
Mhm,
He's what everyone wants right now for football. It's like okay, I want a Justin Herbert. Everyone's hunting for Justin Herbert. And here's another thing. Check this out with sports. My bad if I go off topic crazy.
No,
I
you're
just
good.
like I ramble on.
Hey man.
So the cool thing about sports is that even if it's not the best draft class,
Mhm,
all it takes is one player. So let's say, for example, at the start of the season, everyone wanted Tua and Joe Burrow for football.
mhm.
Joe Burrow got hurt. It was unfortunate. Tua
Crazy.
didn't live up to the hype
Mhm,
that, it, you know, like people were making of it.
Mhm.
What happened though? Justin Herbert blew up, dude.
Mhm.
Everyone was going nuts on him. He won Rookie of the Year. So now the tables have turned, and it's like Tua's value has gone down. People still want him.
Mhm.
Same thing with Joe Burrow, but their value has just dropped a lot compared to Justin Herbert.
Mhm.
It went from the start of the season, people saying, I need that Tua or Joe Burrow, to the
Yeah.
end of the season, let's go Justin Herbert hunting.
Yeah.
Wait till the next season, till that 20, let's say once the next season starts, 2020, 2021.
Mhm.
Oh, shoot. Yeah. 2020,
21, 22.
21, 22. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like basketball. But yeah, so 21, 22, everyone's going to be like, oh, you know what? Like, it's been fun ripping all this, but let's pull out one of these boxes from 2019, 2020 and try to rip a Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
So that's the crazy part about sports, which sports, pretty much everything's like stocks, but sports is heavy, like sports cards are heavy like stocks. And that's why I like them more than Pokemon, because Pokemon, you have those cards that are going to have that value. So it's going to be like, okay, Champion's Path. We want the 2 Zards. Everything else is kind of meh.
Yeah.
So those are the 2 hits. So now once it comes to sports, like, for example, this AJ Dillon card, it's not the craziest card, but let's say next year he has a breakout year where he just balls out. He's like a top 5 running back. Like, that will make all his cards just spike. So that's what separates sports from Pokemon and why I like sports a lot. But I mean, it's crazy. And yeah, dude, it blows my mind, really. Like, when you think about it, you're like, dang, dude. Like, for example, basketball, 2014, like boxes, whatever hobby boxes are, prices are out of the roof because people just want one card, and that's Giannis. Like, screw everyone else. We don't care about no one. Like, Giannis just won back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year and MVP. So we just want that one card. So that's the crazy thing about sports. It just all you need is one player to sell the box. It's crazy.
So then, do you try and like, or do you think that you'll try and start basically pre-investing in players before they blow up, kind of thing, or like, what's your take on that aspect of card collecting?
I'm trying to with certain things. So like, because my thing right now, I'm trying to get my capital up more than anything. But once I get to a point where I'm like, oh, you know what? Let me get a few of these players. Like, for example, everyone wants Zion and John Morant. I personally, and there's no like guarantees or nothing. It's just what I feel.
Yeah.
Zion's a big dude. Like, his size is concerning for me, like, as a long-term investment. So like, that's one thing that I'll look at. Like, if someone told me like, would you rather invest in Zion or John Morant? I'd say John Morant. Like, I could be wrong, but I just feel like even though Ja did get hurt earlier this year, but it's nothing like, Zion missed half a season.
Yeah.
So that's my thing. It's just, there's a lot to take in. It's tough, honestly, but I mean, I do want to get into it. I just haven't yet. But yeah, things like that, it gets scary when you think about it. Like, dang, like, think about all these people buying like $1,000 Zion cards. Like, oh, bro, in 5 years he's gonna be $10,000. Like, yeah, it's true. But then, yep, exactly, Joe Burrow. Like, he could get hurt, and then it's like, I don't know about his value now, especially depending on his injury. It's a scary thing. So like, right, pretty much what I'm doing, cards that I rip personally, those are like, where I'm at right now, I'm not gonna go out and buy cards. I'm just gonna, like, whatever cards I have, rookie cards, I kind of just stash them.
Gotcha.
Any sleeve them, top load them, stash them. So that's my biggest thing. I'm actually gonna, like, this is a cool one. It's actually super crazy. So my uncle from the shop, he actually gave this to me, dude. And I was like, middle school. But check this out. Super dope card. My favorite card. It is a rookie LeBron James card.
Now,
So I have this thing in I mean, it was, and the crazy part is, I was telling him about this, like, what the value is now. There's only like 2 or 3 cards up on eBay that I've seen. But what he was telling me, he's like, dude, I remember at one point those cards were selling for like $20 on eBay.
Wow.
And that's like that investment thing that you talk about, you just never know.
Mhm.
And like in theory, Zion could be that like new LeBron. I'm
Mhm.
not saying he'll be as good or better, but like he has the potential to be that type of player, like generational talent. But,
Mhm.
but like any player, it's not just Zion. Any player is just one injury away from like losing all that value.
Yeah. Now, so what's your take on actually? Well, so my cousin gifted me a couple cards, and so I wanted to actually share too. So I got I don't know how this is, but that's D Wade.
Oh, nice.
That's the oversized. Yeah, I'll pull it up again. That's the oversized suit days
Yeah,
of
yeah.
like D Wade, and then
Okay,
I got J.R. Smith.
that's a cool one.
That's on a shitty top
Yeah.
loader. It's oxidized like fuck. And then this is just I don't think this is worth shit to be honest, but this is just MJ. But while you were talking about it, I figured they'd be interesting. Now,
Yeah, no, for sure.
what's your take? Like, how come you haven't gotten that graded? Like, what's your take on grading and not grading, holding everything?
I'm I'm barely getting into grading.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually hitting up Miggy from the group Migs.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually sent in some cards last week to him.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna send them in to get them graded for me.
Nice.
And also like people who are buying from me, because a lot of people are asking like, hey, anyone who grades? So we're trying to work something out where it's like, okay, cool, like I'll get the, because one guy actually did bring me his Charizard.
Mm-hmm.
We met up, and then I was like, all right, cool, thanks. Like this is my boy. Like I showed him his IG.
Yeah.
He has my IG. He's seen, so like that way he knows like who it's going to. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, this is my boy. He's up north, like Central Cal,
Mm-hmm.
and he has an account with PSA, so he sends in bulk submissions.
Yeah.
That way it's cheaper than just submitting straight up through PSA.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to start grading a lot of stuff. The only thing is when you have stuff that's higher in value, it gets very costly.
Yeah.
Like you're talking like $50 a card.
Mm-hmm.
So I do want to start sending. And the thing is, I wanted to send the LeBron card out.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, dude, I'm gonna send it out. But when I sent out, I was so focused on getting everyone else's cards out and like organizing it, because I made a whole list and everything. Like this person gave me this card and this card.
Mm-hmm.
They gave me a Zion card. They gave me a Jaw card or whatever from this set. Like
Mm-hmm.
I try to be, very specific, so that way I could tell them like, okay, cool, I got your stuff, I got your stuff. That way, when everything comes in, even though I separated them by team bags, like I could have it, well organized. So like, all right, cool. Let me make sure this is for this person.
Mm-hmm.
So it just flew over my head that I didn't send it out to grading.
Mm-hmm.
But when I send out the next batch, I'm definitely sending that LeBron.
Now, what
But
tier? What tier is that LeBron card? Because that thing's got to be worth guap guap, right? Like I'm assuming.
this one is, I haven't checked it in a while, but I
Mm.
want to say it's somewhere around like 1,000 and up. I don't know. I don't even know if that's raw, raw or graded. But like I said, I had only seen like one or two
Mm.
up on eBay, and yeah, it was around like, yeah, I can't remember, but I think around like a G.
Mm.
I'm gonna say graded, but there's a chance that it could have been like $300-400 raw.
Mm.
But shoot, I'm like, dude, something that I had it in the same top loader my uncle gave me, and so I had like a shoebox where I had all my cards that he gave me,
Mm.
and that was one of them. So I was like, shoot, I'm glad I held on to it, and then this is one of the cards where it's like more sentimental, because I've learned to like LeBron's my favorite player in the league right now. Like, since Kobe
Lakers or just
retired,
post Lakers?
pre-Lakers. Yeah. So here's a funny thing too about LeBron. I was the biggest LeBron hater back then, dude.
Mhm.
Like when he came out, because I remember I'm a huge Kobe fan, like Laker fan. I'm a huge
Mhm.
Laker fan, huge Kobe fan. Like that's what I grew up watching. It's actually pretty cool. I wish I had it, but on me, but I don't. But I played soccer back in like second, third grade,
Mhm.
and on the cards they put like how old he is, like how old I was, who my favorite player was, and on that card I had Kobe. So I was like, that's a dope thing. So I show
Mhm.
people like, bro, I've been Kobe since day one. But the thing is, like, I feel like once LeBron came out, he was a monster, dude. Like, it's
Mhm.
undeniable. But people were starting to talk about LeBron like they forgot about who Kobe was.
Mhm.
And I was like, screw LeBron, like that was trash.
Yeah.
So that's what it was with me till my uncle who gave me that card, and the one with the shop, he's the one who gave me that card. He was a big
Mm.
sports head back in the day, for cards and
Mm.
just sports in general. So like he told me, like, dude, like there's no reason to hate LeBron. He's just a beast. Like,
Yeah.
how do you think other people feel when the Lakers go to play their team? Like Kobe Bryant goes and drops 30, 40 points on their head. So and then I was like, yeah, you're right. Like
Mhm.
it feels good for us because Kobe just balls out, but like
Mm.
LeBron's the same thing, he's just a
Yeah.
monster. So I did start to like him. So I mean, shoot, I tell people all the time, like I'm a huge LeBron fan, and then
Mhm.
that's why I was so happy when he came with the Lakers. And then especially once AD came, I
Mhm.
was telling people like free win. They were like, "You're crazy." I was like, "Whatever." They ended up
No.
winning, so I feel good. I'm
Yeah.
like, "Let's go."
Wiz was
Um,
calling that shit like last February, March. He was saying
mhm,
Lakers, and he was like sending me the betting odds,
yeah,
like before. And then like once Kobe, like the whole accident happened, he's like, dude, they gotta win. They gotta
there's
win.
no way.
They
Yeah,
gotta win.
exactly.
Like it's just happening. Like
Yeah.
it's fucking happening.
Yeah, because I was telling, I mean, like before the season even started, like when we got AD, and
Mm.
this is a very bold statement because the league was pretty solid. Like
Mm.
there was a lot of stud players. But like for example, I was like, bro, LeBron James, the best player in the league.
Mhm.
For me, he's the goat for me. I never saw Jordan play, so it's no disrespect to Jordan.
Mm.
It's just that's I've seen, like, dude, I saw his documentary. It was crazy. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, that fool's a freak of nature. They're just two guys. Like, honestly, if you pick one and two, it's gonna be LeBron Jordan or Jordan LeBron.
Mhm.
Like, you can't go wrong either way. But for me, it's LeBron. Um,
Mhm.
and so I was saying, like, bro, how do you have the greatest player in the league, one of the greatest players of all time, then you throw AD? AD's a freak. He's like Dirk Nowitzki. He's like an athletic Dirk Nowitzki. So I was like,
Dirk
dude,
was
like
pretty
how
athletic.
he was, but AD's like he has that, yeah, he has that extra oomph. But no, because Dirk's a monster. Like that,
Mm.
what made him so unstoppable? Like a freaking 7-footer who could fade away. Like
Yeah.
what do you want me to do? Like, it's
Mhm.
tough. So I mean, and the team was pretty solid too. Like we didn't have the flashiest players, but I did like our defense with
Mhm.
Danny Green, Avery Bradley. Even though Avery Bradley didn't end the season with us, but also like our big men, Dwight,
Mhm.
JaVale McGee. Like our size was like no team. It just makes it tough on everyone to score.
Yeah.
So we just dominate the paint. And I mean, Rondo, he's a huge thing. I'm a huge Rondo fan.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
a Rondo fan back when the
So
Celtics beat
yeah.
us, and I hated the Celtics. I was like, dude, I hate them. Rondo's the one player I wish would have played with Kobe. Like, I
Mhm.
feel like they have that, like, Rondo has that killer instinct, but kind of like low key ish.
Mhm.
Um, but I mean, our team was just insane, and I was telling people like, bro, there's no way. Like, Clippers don't have a chance, and I understand Clippers beat us. What was it, like the first two meetings?
Yeah.
But what people don't see in those games is LeBron was trying to get the rest of the players involved.
Mhm.
Once the third game hit, which was pre-COVID, it was like 2-3 weeks before COVID
Yeah.
like stopped it. Like you could tell LeBron took over it and just balled everyone up. And I was
Yeah.
like, boom. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't care if you have Kawhi Leonard, you have Paul George, you have Patrick Beverly, who's not even a threat to him. But
Mhm.
like all these players are not gonna stop LeBron. Like once
No.
it comes down to it, when it's that time, they're not going to stop him.
Yeah.
You could throw anything you want, and that's the issue with it too. Their team focused, like their sole purpose was to stop LeBron.
Mhm.
And if you can't stop LeBron, like what good is it?
Mhm.
Like focus on stopping everyone else and make LeBron play. I don't know. It's tough. Like that's beyond me now.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was my take on it. I was like, you can't stop LeBron.
No.
You're only focusing on stopping LeBron, which ends up to who was it? The Nuggets. Yeah, the
Mhm.
Nuggets beat them. So I was like, come on, bro. But yeah, dude. I mean, shoot, I was so happy because I was like, dude. And then like you said, how the whole Kobe thing. That was a huge thing, bro. I bawled my tears. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah.
I was like, when he retired, I cried, dude. When it was his last game, and I'm not even joking.
Mhm.
I was like, bro, this is it. This is my boy Kobe. And then when that happened, it was just a whole new thing. So when that happened, that's another thing where it's like, Lakers organization is on their toes. They're
Yeah.
like, bro, we have, like, there's no excuse.
Mhm.
Like we have to win the whole thing.
Yeah.
So that was a thing. And I mean, shoot, I think we're gonna back to back this year too. Run it back. So I'm excited.
I hope
We'll
so.
see.
I hope so. It'd be nice to see. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
know. Like I feel the same way. Like I didn't ball, but I definitely like teared a little bit because it was just I don't know. You grow up with Kobe, and then I don't know. Part of me, I don't think I paid enough attention to like sports growing up, and
Mhm.
so he passes, and then what ends up happening is everybody starts sharing Kobe shit, right? And like you got the Kobe commercials, right? Like the Mamba mentality commercials, right? Like all those
Yeah.
kinds of things, and like I don't know how, but somehow I never saw those commercials. Like I don't know if they're just not on regular TV, and I just don't watch a lot of TV, but I never witnessed those commercials. So like I never saw those. Just like a lot of the work that he did in terms of like charities and stuff like that. Like I didn't
Yeah.
know shit about his like extended, family relationship with like his daughter and like hyping her up in terms of like possibly trying to
That
get her into
that
like the WNBA.
Mamba Academy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so like seeing all that kind of stuff come out, and then think about it, bro. You play video games, you throw a grenade, you yell Kobe. You know what I mean? Like it's just
Yeah, for real.
like
Like anything. Yeah, and anything you throw, it's like Kobe,
yeah,
Kobe.
bro.
But
So
nah, dude.
I don't know. That shit just like for like weeks, months afterwards, I'd throw something in the garbage and I'd just be like, Kobe. I'm like, fuck, fuck,
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
like, dude, that's tough.
Yeah, yeah.
Nah, yeah, I feel you, cause I mean that's the thing, dude. I would spend so much. So, like I said, growing up, I played a ton of video games.
Mhm.
I played a ton of like, if I was in,
Oh, froze. Hmm. Is it me? You froze, bro. Let's see. I'm gonna have to crop that. Let's see.
so the thing with Kobe, it was like,
You just cut out.
oh, all right, hold on, give me a quick sec.
I think you're good now. I was just gonna message you. You're muted still. Yeah,
All right, for sure. That's
yeah. I
really
think
good.
you're good now. Just a
All
hot
right,
second.
cool. Yeah, yeah. That's how I cut out. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, dude, like if I wasn't playing video games, I was watching Kobe
Mm.
highlights, Kobe commercials, like everything. Like he was just, it was just crazy. Cause my family, we didn't grow up watching football.
Mm.
The, you know what? Hold on, give me a quick sec. My bad.
Okay. Oh, good.
All right, there we go.
Cool.
But yeah, but like I said, too, if it wasn't video games, it was just watching videos of Kobe.
Maybe
Like it
move it
was
in a little
just,
tighter.
yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right. But oh yeah, getting back to, I mean, my family, we didn't watch football too much. My uncle from the shop, he was always a football head, but I never watched it. But with my family, we were always watching basketball. So that was like the one thing, like, you know, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, when everyone's off of work, off of school and everything,
Mhm.
we were always kicking it with our family.
Yeah.
And it was, Laker games was the biggest thing. So
Mhm.
like Kobe was just like a huge, especially for like LA culture. Kobe was just so big, like
Mhm.
you don't realize how big he was. Like his passing really showed me how big he was. I mean, I knew he was big. He was big to me, but like worldwide,
Mhm.
because I know he was massive in like in China
Mhm.
and like just everywhere else outside of the states. Because I worked in a bus manufacturer where it was a Chinese ran company,
Mhm.
and dude, they were like engineers. Like some of these engineers were Chinese, and those guys were like, "Oh, dude, like I cried with it." They were like, "Kobe meant a lot to us." Like
Mhm.
in Asia, that was like the only player. They were like, "Bro, we like this guy." Like
Yeah.
Kobe was just such a huge thing, and I mean, LA culture. He was just big, dude.
Mhm.
He was like celebrity amongst celebrities.
Yeah.
It was like Kobe walks in the room with like all these A-list actors, all the Hall of Fame players.
Mhm.
Like if Kobe walks in the room, everyone's like shutting up and like just hearing what he has to say.
Mhm.
So it's just crazy how big, his passing really was. It was unfortunate, but I mean, because all these other like any other artist or anyone famous, I had never cried when, and it's not that I don't care. It's just I didn't have that like connection with other artists or
Mm,
players, any other famous people. But with Kobe's passing, dude, I think hit because it was like it really felt like it was a family member. It
mm,
was like, dude, I feel like it was like every week I saw him, I would watch. And the crazy part about it, right before he passed, they actually did an interview with it's Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson.
mm,
I can't remember the name, but I remember watching that interview. I was like, dude, that's dope. That was one of my favorite things, watching Kobe talk, because it was just, I'm a big like podcast or interview. Like I just love watching them. So I
yeah.
would always watch Kobe stuff. I was like, dude, I can't wait for the next one. Then like a week later or 2 weeks later is when he passed. I was like, dude, it's tough.
Mm,
So, but yeah, dude, he's it. Like you said, people. That's the thing with Kobe is he was. People might not have liked him as a player, but they respected his game.
mm,
So worldwide, people just really saw the impact that Kobe had.
yeah.
It was tough. Like shoot, I've never seen um like the NBA kind of shut down like that. I've never seen
Mm,
like football, all these other like even soccer, dude. Like with Neymar and all these big time players, showing their love for Kobe too, and like it was just something like I'd never seen before. Like even with MJ, like Michael Jackson, it was crazy. It was like that was probably the biggest thing since then. But I just think worldwide, Kobe's was just bigger because he
yeah.
was just like like I said, especially in China, he was like the face out there.
Yeah.
Like you have superstars, you have world stars, and that's what Kobe is. He's a worldwide like star slash legend.
Mm. So for like, I guess what other player do you think really captures people in like this day and age? So with New York and stuff to that extent, uh, it, it it was a shame when it ended up happening. But when the Knicks got rid of Jeremy Lin, it was like it was insane, right? Because you had Linsanity going on. He was just sniping daggers. He went to I think NYU or something to that extent, like a really good college. I forget what college he went to, but like a really good college had like the stereotypical like Asian upbringing of like really strict parents and like focus on school. And I think he lived on somebody's couch when he first started playing for like the Knicks and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And he was amazing, right? Like nobody knew how to guard him, nobody knew how to shut him down. He took over for like a short period of time. Obviously,
Correct.
now not quite having as big of like an impact. But like who do you think moving forward is going to have like obviously you have LeBron right now. Like who do you think is that next generation's player?
I I think it's the same thing. Like not you know if he doesn't get hurt, I think it will be Zion.
Mm,
As long as he stays healthy, I think he's that generational player.
mm,
Because it's just scary. He has that size, that dominance, that Shaq type dominance, and
yeah,
then like freaking what was it? His debut game when he came back to the league, freaking wet like four 3 pointers.
mm.
They were wide open, but that's something that Shaq could have never hit. So
Shaq
it's
couldn't hit
like,
a fucking free throw.
yeah, exactly. So it's like that's scary, dude.
Mm,
Like the strength that he has to just power his way into the paint and yeah, have a jump shot like that. So I think he is that next player, and it's tough because you really don't see it. It's tough to call it, but yeah, I think he's the only one really right now
mm,
that I'll confidently say. Because I think John Morant, I like him. I think he's gonna be a phenomenal player,
mm,
but I just feel like Zion with his skill set is just like in a league of his own.
mm,
Um, in terms of like potential and what he can be. Because I mean, like I said, he lived up to his hype that debut game. I think he went the whole game. It was like an average game, and then the last 2 minutes he just balled out. They were like, "Bro, where'd freaking 22 points come from?" So I would say him,
mm,
and it's tough. It's tough because shoot, the last person to have hype like him outside of Anthony Davis was LeBron, and
mm,
Anthony Davis is a phenomenal player.
mm.
It's just I wouldn't say he's like on like a LeBron type level.
Yeah.
Like you know, well, who is I'd say it's like I didn't watch them, but MJ. Then
Mm,
you have Kobe. Then you have LeBron. Then
mm,
you have Steph Curry. I would, yeah, if I had to, I'd put my money on Zion.
mm. Yeah, I
So,
mean, like there's always those players that capture people's imagination. You know what I mean? Like the player
Mhm.
that for a season or two probably like dominates sales jerseys, like sales for jerseys, right? Like you had the highlight reels that Allen Iverson put up where like he was crossing up MJ towards like the end of MJ's career, right? Like
Yeah.
even at the end of his career, he was still putting on highlight reels, right? And so there's like that kind of like wedge the gap kind of thing, and like I think that's more where like Anthony Davis kind of comes in, where like he's really good, but he's just not again like that. There's a player every. I mean, LeBron's been in the league for fucking an insane amount of time, dominating.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
like I don't see Zion quite currently having the same impact, and I don't know what it is. Like LeBron came in
Mhm.
the league and it was immediate, right? Like it was an
He
immediate
was a
transfer of
high
power.
schooler dominating men, and it was
Yeah,
scary.
yeah,
Yeah. Now I feel you on there, and that's where it's like that's why it's tough. Because I mean, if I had to choose someone,
mm,
it'd be Zion, but I
mm,
don't know if I'd really like. It's tough when you throw. It kind of like for newer players, it really makes it hard saying like, who do you think could live up to this?
mm,
Because you really don't know. You kind of got to look at like players who are already on top.
mm,
Kind of like shoot, like for example, Jordan. Like it took a few years till once Kobe was there, they were like, dude, like they move the same. Like this guy's like a Jordan type player.
yeah,
So I think it's gonna take a few years. So it is tough. But man, I mean, once you start bringing up those big names, like someone really has to be good to
mm,
be put in the conversation of like a Jordan or LeBron or Kobe or even like a Steph, because I mean he changed the game,
yeah,
changed it from a big man's league to a shooting league. He's got big man like Zion coming into the league shooting threes. Like he really did change the game,
mm,
you know, especially with all these big centers. The same thing, Anthony Davis, big guy shooting threes,
mm,
and if you can make him cool, but like he's really making it to where like he changed the league to where it's like if you're a big man and you can't shoot threes, like we would really like for you to be able to make an open three type of deal.
mm,
So yeah, but shoot, I don't know who would be like that next generational player.
mm,
But if I did have to pick, it would be Zion. But shoot, like I said, it's tough to fill those shoes. That's a
mm,
tough one because I've talked about this with my buddies a few times. There's like the all-time greats, then there's like the current greats.
yeah,
So when you talk about certain generations, because like I look back and think about like players like let's say Baron Davis, he was on the Warriors.
mm,
He was a baller back in that time, and it's like, dude, he was really nice. Like you would see him, he'd pull up and ball anyone up. Same thing, Gilbert Arenas, like he'd pull up, ball anyone up. But then you start talking all time greats, and they're nowhere near that,
yeah,
just because how great players like LeBron or Kobe or Jordan really are.
mm,
And Shaq too. Shoot, I mean, there are players where you're just like, oh, dude,
one in a million.
they're yeah, one in a million,
Yeah,
but yeah, it just goes to show how great these guys really are. Because when you have all these other people who ball during their time, um, it's and they have other guys who are just light years behind them.
mm,
And that's no disrespect to like a Baron Davis or like a or even like a Monte Ellis. We were talking about that on Souls Live the other day.
mm,
How he was a phenomenal player before Curry got there, and then they split, and then Curry started winning these chips. But like Monte was a baller,
mm.
but it's just nowhere near as good as like these generational type players.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's a certain level of like mesh that has to happen with like teams where like, I was talking about this with like Wiz last night where he just doesn't feel like the Nets quite have like a team that gels together. Like you bring all the pieces in, you have all the
I
talent, right?
agree.
Like you got enough 95, 99 overall players in terms of like,
Yeah,
NBA live type shit or 2K,
yeah, yeah.
but it just doesn't work.
I
Uh
I agree with that 100% because I don't even know how far they're gonna go, dude.
mm,
Just because like they just got stuff that they don't need. For example, like they lost last night. How much
yep,
did they drop on them? The freaking Cavs, who are like one of the worst offensive teams, drop what like 147 points.
crazy.
Yeah, it's double overtime, but it's like really like one of the worst teams
Yeah.
offensively balled you up like that. That's the scary part about it. Like if you have a team who could drop 145 and still
Mm,
lose a game, it's not great. And
yeah.
I don't like what they did. I was kind of, and I didn't watch. I mean, I was born in '94, so I never watched Jordan Bulls team.
Mhm.
Um, but it's kind of like saying, okay, how about this? We have LeBron, or we have Jordan, we have Scottie Pippen. Let's do this. Let's take Dennis Rodman off the team
Mhm.
and get ourselves a Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
But then you're like, why do we need another Kobe if we have MJ? Like we have someone who needs the ball in their hand, or someone, yeah, a volume scorer.
Mhm.
Like Jordan's your guy. So if you have Kevin Durant, who's the best scorer in the game right now,
Mhm.
why are you gonna go out and get someone who's the thing about Harden? Whether he plays defense or not, I'm gonna say I say no. But whether people want to say okay, he plays defense or not, he
Mhm.
does not play defense on the elite level that like a Jordan or Kobe did.
Yeah.
They had the scoring and the defense, but Harden doesn't have that.
Yeah.
So when you have the greatest scorer in the game right now,
Mhm.
shooter, why would you go out and get someone who wants to shoot, especially when you have a Kyrie? Like you just have three guys who just want to shoot.
Yeah.
Like let's all shoot, and that's. I don't think it's gonna work. I don't like it.
Mhm.
I'm also not. I'm I'm kind of a hater. I'm not even gonna lie, but like Harden, I don't
I
like
don't
his
like it.
game.
Nah, I
It's
don't like it.
I'm not a fan of his.
Yeah.
There's a few players like that. Like I really do try to respect game. But I just don't like his because for
He's a
him it's
diva.
like, yeah, he's a diva. He's like, I need the ball. Let me shoot, 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 shoot,
Yeah.
shoot, shoot. And I mean, I get that, but if you're gonna shoot, 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 and not win, what's the good of it?
Yeah. Yeah. So for you, with like, I guess just to go back to expertise, because I'm a little out of my range with sports talk. If I'm completely honest, I can hold my own a little bit, but only with the big names. Do you?
Yeah.
So the two things that I want to cover is digital cards. Digital cards are like blowing up like a motherfucker right now, right? And so that, and then like just different sets that you see blowing up in like the future, as far as like Pokemon or just other things. So let's hit like the digital cards. NBA Top Shot. What's the thoughts? Where does it go? What are you buying? What are you not buying?
Here's the thing. So I need to look into that more, but
Mm,
I am all for anything digital right now,
mm,
especially with the whole COVID thing, especially with VR becoming a huge thing.
mm,
Like even like those Gucci ghosts, the digital art.
mm,
One of my boys got that, and then they were like, we were like with with our little circle, we were talking about it. Like, bro, do you really think this is something? And I was like, dude, honestly, it's the future. Like,
mm.
you either jump on it now or jump on it when it's too late.
Yeah.
But the thing is, and this is like thinking just way out there, but I was saying, I was like, just think about this. What if it gets to a point where like video games or like VR, like with this whole stay at home, obviously people don't follow it like
Mm,
they're saying, but let's say it gets to a crazy point and it's like, oh, you know what? Let me jump on VR at the homies, and pull up with the homies, and it's like, hey, come to my VR home or some bullcrap,
yeah.
and then they see your freaking one of 50 Gucci ghosts on the wall. They're like, dude, that's crazy. Like things like that. It's just digital's the wave.
Mm,
So I mean, I'm a fan of it, especially with like cards. And I'm not saying like none of that's gonna happen, but that's my take on it. Like
mm,
I'm a go for digital stuff, especially digital cards, because I want to get into that
yeah.
for sure, and start doing like
Mm,
digital sports cards. It's dope, and I mean it's a pretty neat, yeah, it's a like super neat concept.
mm,
And then for the Pokemon question, here's my thing with Pokemon is sealed Pokemon is, and this is what I tell everyone. I try, people who ask me or people who, we just start talking Pokemon, is sealed Pokemon will always go up.
yeah.
It's going to happen.
Mm,
Now, the difference is there's going to be certain sets that blow up. What's the main factor in it? One, Charizard. Two are going to be, yeah, so like, it kind of makes it easy. So, for example, like Champion's Path, and it's funny because I was actually asking Wiz this probably like 3 months ago, like two,
mm.
3 months ago, whatever it was. And I was like, so what's good, Wiz? Like how? And I don't remember exactly, but I just asked like, yo, so how much Champions Path you working on? He was like, I'm sitting on a ton. I don't know if he said like 30, 45, whatever he said,
Yeah.
but like, I look on that and I'm like, dude, like when people ask me, I'm like, if you have the capital, buy freaking 5 ETBs. If you find them at Target, buy them, throw them in your closet, forget about them. the best thing about that is that it guarantees you a Charizard.
Hmm.
There's no better thing than
Unless
that.
you're
You have
Wesley.
a yeah, yeah, yeah. I was like, that was tough. But like, even in his case, because you do want the Zards, obviously.
Yeah.
But he sent his stuff to get graded with BGS with Beckett.
Mhm.
Which Beckett, if you get the black label like pristine tens,
Yeah.
that's like the holy grail of
Gold.
grading. So so for him, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna send freaking 20, 30 cards out. I don't know how much he sent, but like
Mhm.
let's say he sends 20, 30 cards out.
Is it Wesley or Wiz?
Wesley.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's say all he needs to do is hit with like three or four of those, because dude, I didn't know how crazy the price difference was from a black label 10
Mhm.
than a PSA 10, because PSA 10s are selling for like 150,
I
200 or
guess
something.
let's pause here for a quick second. So
Yeah.
because some people might not know all the different grading services, right? So like we know what it
Mhm.
is, and so it's something that I'm trying to do in terms of like just making this more available to the wider audience and stuff, right?
Okay.
But like
Yeah.
so essentially, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm gonna call it as PSA generally is like a Lexus, right? Where like Beckett is kind of like Toyota, but then like the Beckett 10 is like the supercar Toyota, right? It's like the Supra top of the
Actually,
line
that's
fucking
yeah.
smoke show. And then what
Yes.
is it? What's the other one? C something?
CGS.
CGS is kind of like Scion, right? Like that, like
Yes.
lower end kind of, like just in terms of like the resale
Yeah.
value, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
So like
Yeah.
those are just three different like grading services.
I would say that, yeah, because I mean, like I said, I'm starting to get into grading more, but I mean, I do like how you put that,
Mhm.
because across the board, you really don't want Beckett unless you get that black label pristine, that pristine 10, that black label.
Yeah,
You get that, okay, that's your money maker.
yeah.
But then hold on, let me turn on the light. It's kind of dark in here.
Okay.
My bad.
All right. So just as far as like that kind of stuff goes, I'll just kind of give you guys some filler. But so with like those pieces, I'm just kind of giving like a little bit of filler as far as like the pieces go. But so with those pieces, you have like the PSA 10, right? And then you have like a Beckett 10, right? And so the PSA 10 is going to be worth like a little bit more than the PSA 10. The PSA 10 is going to be worth a little bit more than the Beckett 10. But then there's like a Beckett Perfect, which is like black label. And that black label is like immaculate, right? And so that's like the difference between those two, just to go like a little bit more in depth.
So like you were saying, and that's the thing with it, because they grade off of. I want to make sure that I get all of them. So I know that it's their centering, print lines,
Corners?
surface, and corners. There we go. Yeah.
Mm.
So those are the four things they touch on. So if I'm not mistaken, I think you could get like a 9.5 and like centering, a 9.5 and like surface, and then a 10 in the two others,
Mm.
and it'll still be considered a 10. But if you get 10s in every single one of those categories, I believe that's what makes it a black label Beckett.
Mm.
And that's where what I was talking about, because I told Weasley, I was like, so it's good. Like, you're gonna send these out to PSA? He's like, hell no, Beckett black label is what I'm shooting for. He's like, all or nothing at this point. So I was like, for sure. And then I was like, so it's good. How much are those reselling for? And then he told me, and I looked it up. And at the time, it was like 150, maybe 200 for a PSA 10. But
Mm.
the Beckett 10, the black label 10, was
Mm.
selling for like a G. I was like, oh
Woo!
my God, dude.
And that's for the
I
Rainbow
was like,
VMAX or for the Black Charizard?
no, that's for the promo.
Oh,
The
that's for
one
the
that
promo. Holy
I was,
shit.
yeah, I was like, oh my God. So, like, in his case, it's like a fat L because he didn't pull a Charizard.
Yeah.
But as long as he pulls, let's say like three or four black labels, and I don't know how easy it is. There it is. Yep, those are it. Those are the ones where if you get them graded, and I haven't checked it. That's another thing. I'm trying to stay up to date with like grades a little more.
Mm.
But the last time I checked, I think it was like a week or two ago.
Yeah.
It was around there. But I remember when he told me that's what it was. So I was like, I was just like, dude, that's crazy. I
Yeah.
mean, if he sends in, like I said, if he sends in 20 or 30 of them,
Mhm.
if he at least hopes for like, let's say three or four of them, that makes all his money back. So
Yeah,
it
yeah.
makes it, worth it. So it's like, okay, cool. Unfortunate didn't pull none of these Charizards, plus all the other ones that'll come back like 9.5s. You can still sell those for like those 200-300.
Mm.
And that's the thing. That's why I say Champions Path. It's honestly like it's a win-win situation type of deal,
Mm.
where it's like you could buy a box and get no hits, but you could have and that's another thing too. You're not always guaranteed a 10.
Yeah.
Like, it's all up to freaking what
Random
QC
print
lets
lines.
pass and all that. Yeah, they're freaking print lines.
Mm,
They're off-centered cards
yeah.
and BS. But that's the thing with it. It's like you have at least you. That's why I like Champions Path ETBs for a hold
Hmm.
because it comes guaranteed with one Charizard.
Yeah.
Like okay, at the least, I have this Charizard I could sell for 10-20 bucks raw,
Mm,
make a third, a fourth of my money back,
mm,
or I could get it graded. I could possibly get a 9 or a 10, which could pay for the box,
yeah.
in
Yeah.
itself. So that's why I like those as a hold because there's always a selling factor. Like it comes with that guaranteed Charizard,
Yeah.
and then the chance to pull two more Charizards. So that's what's different from like the
Vivid voltage and
some
stuff
of
like that.
these exactly. Yeah, Vivid Voltage doesn't have nothing. So that's a cool thing about that. But I mean, I would say all anything with the Charizards a go,
Mm,
especially stuff like I said, Champions Path. That one
yeah.
has the promo Zard. Um, and then car sets like for example the shiny star, bro.
Mm,
That thing is the Hidden Fates 2.0. It is 100% a go. I would eat up. You could either sell like quick flip or you could quick flip and hold.
mm,
I'm gonna try to hold as much as I can with that, but that
mm.
just depends on how much I really get in hand.
And that's the shiny star for the English edition or for the Japanese edition?
Correct. So Shiny Star V is the Japanese version edition,
Okay.
and then for the English edition, it is the Shining Fates.
Oh, shiny face. Okay, gotcha. I didn't realize that that was actually the same set. I thought that it was going to be released under the same name, to be honest. So I didn't realize that
Yeah.
because I ripped a bunch of them, but the Japanese I ordered like 8 packs,
Yeah.
whatever. Um,
Nice.
yeah. So I guess just back to like the topic. I had a person like reach out to me and like ask about like the scalping aspect and stuff like that, and it's based on like IG post, and I've tried to like explain things to people a little bit, but like sometimes like you're buying a lot of like the packs resale and stuff, and
Mhm.
I'm doing the same shit. Like just because I put up a flex picks doesn't mean that I'm like stealing this out of some fucking little kid's hand and punching him in the face. Like some shit like I'm
Yeah.
buying as like an investment. Like when you
Yeah.
see like the Jordan 1 investments from like sneaker investments and stuff like that, dude, like
Hmm.
I'm buying resale. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
yeah, like
Exactly.
yes, I'm supporting scalpers or whatever it is, but at the same time, like I'm treating it as an investment. I'm gonna sit on my money, put it into these shoes, like mochas and stuff
Exactly.
like that. The mocha GS are like $500-$600, which is fucking absurd.
It's crazy. Yeah. Yeah.
So like it's the same thing where, I don't. Part of me, I just don't love the aspect of like scalping in terms of like the short term versus the long term, right? Because
Hmm.
the short term people drive down the price, and that's good for consumers, like true consumers, right? Like true
Yeah.
collectors. And then the long term people, like, how are you different? Like you're just holding it for a different time frame. Like you're just sitting
Yeah.
there. To me, right? So this guy Pack who does digital art asked on his Twitter, what's the difference between a scalper or a flipper and a hodler, right? Because it's a like crypto art and shit.
Hmm.
And to me, it's like because they have money, right? Like if you buy something and you know it's gonna go up, the only difference is that one person is rich enough to be able to hold the piece, right?
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
that's the difference to me at least. Like yes, okay, it's nice to get paid in like the short term and stuff to that extent. But if you're a baller and you know you're gonna make more money long term, if I don't need the money and I already am, say maxing my 401k and stuff to that extent, and I'm just accumulating other product and I have space and whatever, and I have the time to buy it, like let's just say, why wouldn't I put it in there and invest my money into, Pokemon cards or
Yeah.
something? Like you see the hype
Exactly.
that's happening. So to me, like I don't know, like I think that a lot of people look down on like flippers and scalpers, and really like it's the same thing if you're doing it in the short term or the long term. You just don't.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I just
I
don't have.
think the biggest thing is I think people see it. It's like in the heat of the moment.
Mhm.
Like this just came out. Like it was out at Target for 50 bucks. You're selling it for like 70, 80.
Mhm.
And it's like, yeah, but I mean that's the market for it. Like
Yeah,
if you go into Target right now, you're not gonna find it
yeah.
unless you catch that person restocking. Which I caught someone restocking one time
Mhm.
um at a Target once or twice.
Mhm.
I know once for sure, might have been twice, but one time, and she was restocking every. So it was crazy because there was a big old line. All these dudes pulled up, cleaned house on everything she had. I was able to get like some of the garbage product.
Mhm.
I got some hit. Actually, I got some hidden fates at the time too. I got like 7 or 8 tins.
Mhm.
So I was like, cool, I got that. And then I went back in. I forgot my daughter's crayons. Went back in. Lady was restocking again. I was like, oh my goodness. So I got all this mosaic football, and it's when it was like the hottest stuff out right now,
Mhm.
or at the moment. So I scooped it up. I was like, sweet, like I could start. I could either sit on it or I could sell it. I ended up ripping it all, dude. I was like, bruh, but that's just getting to a point where it's like it's almost impossible to find in stores. And the
Mhm.
thing that makes it even tougher is, especially with Target. Target has a lot of like backdooring
Yeah.
things, because what blows my mind is how they say a lot of Targets are enforcing like, hey, we're only allowing one TCG item or like card item per person.
Mhm.
They're like, whether it's one ETB or one booster pack, you could only take one.
Crazy.
Like that's, yeah, I was like, that's ridiculous. But that's when I go back and I'm like, so how is it one per person? But lady just stocked like 10 minutes ago and there's nothing on the shelves.
Yeah.
Like it blows my mind. So but I mean, there really isn't a difference between people who quick sell and people who just hold for the long term.
Mhm.
Because, like you said, I mean, if I had the money, uh, I think we were talking. What was it, like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Maybe 2, 3 weeks ago, whatever it was. And I was like, bro, like Evo's going up, and it's shot up crazy. Because like a local spot out here where I get some of my product, I try to find the best deals.
Mhm.
There's like offer up or resale spots. So this place called Frankensons,
Mhm.
they have tons of stuff. And what happened? I base a lot of like my prices off their market too,
Mhm.
because it's just it's like a flea market filled with people who sell Pokemon cards, collectibles, sports cards, just everything, statues. They got it all.
Yeah.
If it's a collectible, they have it.
Mhm.
So I went yesterday. Yeah, on Wednesday. Yeah, I
Yeah.
went yesterday, dude. I didn't look at the prices because I was trying to get other stuff.
Mhm.
But tell me why my uncle that I went, one of my uncles I went with, he was like, dude, the ETBs for evolutions are like $700 to $900 based on like this person's stand. So
Mhm.
like that's just going to show. I was like, dude, these guys were selling it for 450
3
three
weeks
four
ago.
weeks ago. Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, if I had the money, if I had like 3,000, I would have spent 2,000, 3,000 on a sealed case of evolutions,
Yeah.
sat on it, and then look now. 3 weeks later, you have these that are selling for like 700, 800.
Yeah.
It's
I
just
feel
crazy,
blessed.
and that's just, yeah, exactly. So I'm like that. That's all it is. Some people have the money to just buy in bulk and sit on it.
Mhm.
Others are like, I gotta make ends meet right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean
So that's the
that was
thing.
my thought process. Like so I scooped one 3 weeks ago, give or take, right? And I was like reaching out to you, and you know,
Mhm.
the prices were like too high at the time and whatever, and like now they just like absolutely blew up overnight. And I got
Yeah,
it in like a couple of days ago, and like I bought for 450 for my cousin to rip, because my cousin, he gets his little, like the nice little stimmy check, and he's sitting there going,
yeah,
"All right, like how do I make this into something else?" And so I'm
yeah,
like he knows what I do and stuff, and so he reaches out, and all right, well, how about we like look at buying some Pokemon cards, and that way, like, we could rip them and like, chase the Charizard, right? And
yeah,
so me, him, and his buddy, $150 a piece. We'll do one box, and I'm like, all right, like I'll just buy the case, because this guy goes, oh well, good luck finding one for 450. Like I just paid 550 for one, and I'm like, all right, I'll just buy the case then. Fuck it, right? Like if I can make a hundred
yeah,
dollars a piece, like fuck it.
yeah,
Like if I need the money, then whatever. Like I'm not smoking it right now, but all right,
yeah.
we'll invest it. And now overnight, 900, 900.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah,
I
it's
just happened to
crazy,
catch
dude.
that wave.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a great thing, but I mean, I was like I said, because I had told a few of my buddies too, and I was talking to Souls about this too, because like canto boxes,
Mm,
I was like, bro, I'm gonna buy some canto boxes because you could find them on eBay for like 70, $80
mm,
after tax. It'll be like 90, 100.
mm.
That comes out to like $10 a pack. I sell them for like 14, 16, depending on how much I get it for.
Yeah.
I try to be reasonable also.
Mm,
Like I had to pay for my because I ship free. I use my penny sleeves, my top loaders,
mm,
my bubble mailers. So there's a lot of stuff that comes out of my pocket, and it's I don't mind it, but that's why some of these prices. It's like, okay, I sell the packs for like 14, 16 a pack.
Mhm.
But I was like, dude, I want to buy some stuff off. I was like, I'm gonna buy some stuff local or off of eBay. I looked up the prices for those boxes for the Kanto boxes.
Mm.
Cheapest I found was 130, and that's
Yeesh.
after tax.
Yeah.
So that's like $15 a pack already. I'm like, dude, what I was charging, like that's what market's gone to. So like, I haven't been able to get my hands on Evo for like a week or two.
Mhm.
I've been getting a lot of hidden fates, which is good because like the people like ripping hidden fates and Evo.
Mhm.
But that's it's crazy because the market changes that fast.
Yeah.
Because I had literally looked at the prices for Kanto boxes the week before,
Mhm.
and then when I was looking at that day, it was like 130 a box, 140 a box. I was like, bro, that's insane. It's blowing my mind. So and yeah, like I would say, and the thing about evolutions, even though they're saying there's gonna be a small reprint of it or big reprint, I don't know
Mhm.
how big the reprint's gonna be.
Yeah.
It's still a go. It's
Yeah.
kind of like Hidden Fates. Hidden Fates reprinted. Did it kill the value? Yeah, it tanked a little, but they're still resale.
Yeah.
Like at Frank and Sons, they shot up. They were selling for like anywhere from 120 to 130,
Mhm.
140 maybe. The cheapest I saw yesterday when I went was like 150,
Yeesh.
and a lot of guys had it up for like 180 for ETB. I was like, oh my god! So like,
Yeah.
that's just proof that okay, these ETBs that people thought value was gonna be gone because they're reprinting it. Nah, all it's doing is stunning the growth. Like,
Mhm.
it's gonna shoot back up to 250, if not more.
Yeah.
If it did anything, is it showed all the new collectors how great that set really is. So they're gonna want it now.
Mhm.
So that's the thing with it, because two modern day sets, I'll say, are 100%. Like, I have no issue ripping them because you'll almost always get your value back. Like if you open let's say I had like three ETBs to open,
Mhm.
I would open, either what would I open? Three Vivids, three Champions Path, three Evos, or three Hidden Fates. I'd rather open three Hidden Fates and three Evos because those, like, I'm just putting them in bunches of three.
Mhm.
Like, just saying, like, if
Odds.
you're gonna open volume, yeah. So like, if I'm gonna open a lot of something, I'm gonna open a lot of Evo or Hidden Fates because there's tons of value. Like,
Mhm.
what people sleep on is, for example, evolutions. Everyone's hunting the Zard,
Mhm.
which is fine, so be it. Everyone's hunting Zion and Jaw,
Yeah.
but there's other players and other Pokemon in this case for evolutions that
Mhm.
have value. So you have um, like for example, a reverse hollow Pikachu.
Mhm.
You get it graded a PSA 10. It'll cost you like 10, $15 to get graded, whatever it is,
Mhm.
and you can sell it. I saw some sold for like $100.
Nice.
Now with the evolution prices going up, those things could probably be like 120, 130, $150 cards,
Mhm.
and that's the thing, people are so focused. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just um like, if you're really trying to invest, like if someone wants to rip something and not lose money,
Yeah.
I would put my money on evolutions and shining hidden fates.
Hidden Fates.
But
Yeah.
yeah, because those, even though you're paying resale, like there's tons of cards in the set that have value.
But
Because
Hidden
like
Fates resale is like nothing right now. Like, you see them on eBay right now for 55.
for
Not Hidden Fates. I'm sorry. Fuck. What's the one with the three Zards? Not Hidden Fates. Shit, I misspoke. Which one is it?
champs.
Yeah, Champions Paths. Sorry,
Yeah,
my
yeah,
bad. My
yeah.
bad.
Champions Path, and that's why, like, for example, Champions Path. It's That's why I'm telling. That's why I tell people right now. It's like, Champions Path is like, people ask like, oh, is this good? And like, I've probably said this like 5, 10 times within the last week or two.
Mhm.
I tell people, if you have capital, buy and sit on it. If you don't, like, you're not gonna sell them.
Yeah.
Like, it, and they're actually going up a little bit right now.
Yeah.
I saw they went up like $5, $10 within
Yeah.
the last 2, 3 weeks. But I mean, I feel what you're saying, because at one point these were selling for like
110.
$100, 100, yeah, 110 or $100 plus a box, and then now it's back down to like $5, $10 over resale
Yeah.
or retail, and that's why there's you know reading the market. Like I said, if I had the capital, I'd buy. I mean, there's tons of stuff that I'd buy and sit
Mhm.
on, but like Champions Path is one of those where, I mean, if you could get a case for like, let's say $600,
Mhm.
that's 10 boxes. I drop If I had $600 where I'm like, I could spend that, and then buy some other stuff and make my money back with that.
Mhm.
I'd buy a case, throw it in the closet, forget about it, because in like 3 4 months, 6 months, whatever the case is, like the value is gonna shoot up once they
Yeah.
stop the print of it. That's really all you have to wait for. Stop the print,
Yeah.
and then after the print has stopped, the longer you wait, the more it's gonna go up. But why is that one gonna go up over a Vivid? Is it's gonna go up because the Charizards,
Yeah.
ETBs, like I said, has the guaranteed Charizard.
Yeah.
There's your
And the hit
selling
rates on
point.
those two are better than the Pikachu too, right? Right? Isn't the fat
Um,
Pikachu like a hard hit?
it is, yes. And the thing is, because there's only one Pikachu that's a hit,
Mhm.
and even though the two Charizards to hit are tough to get, it's two versus the one.
Yeah. Yeah. The probability
So
is just higher, right?
yeah, so like yeah, you could pull other rainbow cards, but there's only the one Pikachu. And same thing for Charizard in Champions Path. There's only one rainbow Charizard to hit, but there's also a shiny Charizard to hit.
Mhm.
So uh there's more value across the board with Vivid,
Mhm.
but there's more value with the Grails,
Mm.
with the champs.
Yeah.
So that's the thing with those. And then like I said, shoot, Evo and Hidden Fates, they're just phenomenal sets to buy. And like if people got tins, I'd say hey, and it's fun too, because people have the itch to rip. So it's
Yeah.
like I tell people if you're gonna rip something, rip some Hidden Fates, rip some Evo,
Mhm.
because with that you could at least get some hits.
Mhm.
Like for example, like I said, that reverse Pikachu.
Mm.
You have the Charizard
Is there a
reverse
regular Pikachu
Charizard.
too?
Yep, the regular Pikachu.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, is there a regular hollow Pikachu or is it just the reverse
Oh,
hollow?
no,
Might
it's
be.
it's a base Pikachu and a reverse hollow Pikachu.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then I don't know the prices for them, but I know that they do pretty well.
Mhm.
My bad, little
No,
burp. But I know there's a hollow
you want to tighten up
Raichu.
the mic a little bit? Sorry.
Yeah. Nah,
There
it's
you
all
go.
good.
Yeah.
So there's a reverse Raichu,
Mhm.
or no. There's a hollow Raichu. There might be a reverse Raichu also,
Mhm.
but like all the reverses in that, or all the hollows in the Evo set are pretty solid,
Mhm.
because it's nostalgic. It's
Yeah.
like it's the modern day base set.
Yeah.
Like we can't afford no freaking
No.
$1,400 a pack for one
Not too broke
base
for
set
that shit.
pack. Yeah, I'm like hell no, I'm not touching that. I would love to one day, but I mean, I probably wouldn't even rip it.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Evo's the modern day, and that's why I think that's hands down the safest investment.
Mhm.
That's why like a month ago I was saying like Evo, I would eat up Evo, bro.
Mhm.
Cause yeah, it's a modern day base set.
Mhm.
It's the easiest investment you could do. It has plus it has all the. I'm trying to see if I don't think I have any. I don't have
What,
any
all the other
cards.
Pikachu's and shit? I mean, all the other.
Like full arts and stuff,
Yeah,
texture
yeah,
cards,
yeah.
even like the Mega Charizard.
I
So
got
things like that.
some next to me. I'm a heathen. Is this the wrong shit? This might be the wrong shit. Yeah, this is the wrong shit. What was I gonna say? So same logic while I'm looking for it, right?
Mhm.
What would you say is like a good pickup right now for sports cards? Because so for my take initial, I was looking while I was in shit. Am I coming out right now? Can you hear me?
No, I can hear you. Yeah.
Let me just scroll up, make sure.
It was cool.
Okay. Huh. Yo, I
Just
swear to
lagging out a
God. Okay, all right, my audio is working. Wait.
Okay. Yeah. I was able to hear you. You didn't cut out.
Okay. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I had scrolled down and I didn't see my audio bar going. That scared the shit out of me.
Oh,
Fuck,
okay. Yeah.
recorded this whole thing, just you talking, I'd be pissed. I mean, you did
Yeah.
a great job,
No,
but
no,
I
no.
want to be able to hear myself a little. So last week I was checking. I think NBA Hoops is a good buy for sports. NBA Hoops is like peak print right now. Scalpers have again dropped down the price. Best price to buy for like a consumer, right?
Yeah.
That you're gonna pretty much get unless you're getting it outside of Target. And so, like, what do you think? Do you agree? Different cards? What do you think?
So I like NBA hoops,
Mhm.
also as like a buy and hold type of deal,
Mhm.
but I've heard a lot of people have been saying, and that's where like, I'm a little newer to it as well. The sports cards, that is.
Mhm.
But I do think that NBA hoops, like, it was a solid product, but I believe it's going down because, well, I mean, from what people have been saying, is they're saying that it's not really like, it's kind of a sell now type of deal with NBA hoops. Like it's not gonna have the value it will later. I think it's just the last print of like this year.
Mm.
So which is why everyone's all over it. So prices are dipping.
Mhm.
and um, it's becoming not real, like more of a let go of this now, opposed to like a sit on it. Which I don't even think it'd be a bad move to sit on it either, especially if you're getting it at the right price. Because
Mhm.
all you have to do with sports, you just wait till the print is over, and then you have like a year go down, and then you're like, yeah, exactly. Beautiful cards. They killed it with the artworks too. I love it.
Yeah, I have like a, I don't know why it always just looks terrible. This is my favorite card.
The
I like
Blastoise,
Blastoise. Yeah,
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 it's
yeah.
nice.
And then let me see. Did I have the blue one? Huh? I don't have the blue one here. Yeah, another one. But
Nice, yeah.
yeah. I
I,
like.
I would say for sports,
Mm,
I know one for sure is Prism football.
Prison football.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Prism football is 100% a go to buy and sit on it.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, because that one, especially if you could, I mean, ultimately the goals get retail,
Yeah.
but it's really tough. That's why, like, what I try to do with people is I'll tell them like, hey, I try to buy bulk. That way, I could bring the price down a bit. It
Mm,
kind of makes it easier for both parties. It's not like I'm ripping someone off. It's like I'm making because I had some guy local
mm,
who was selling Hidden Fates tins.
mm.
He had them at like I don't know 45, 50.
Yeah.
I was like, I think he had them at 45.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, dude, like, I'll buy everything you have for like 38 a 10 or something.
Mm.
And then he was like, nah, I could sell them for 45 easy. He's like, plus I have 18, not just 10. I was like, oh, well, I'll take them all off your hands right now. And then he was like, nah, I could sell. And that's when he was like, I could sell it easy, for 45 all day. Like, I
Mm.
was like, oh, okay, that's cool, bro. Thank you for your time, whatever. I
Mm.
try to be cool,
Yeah.
even though I be trolling a lot. I try to be cool. Like, you can't just jack up your name. So I was like, it's all good, bro. Thank you.
Mm.
He hits me up like an hour later, like, hey, do you think you could at least do like 40 a 10? And I was like, oh, so you're coming back. And then or I think he has like 41 a 10, but
Mm.
those are things where it's like, I mean, yeah, you could sell something for 45 a 10, but how long is it going to take you to sell that? Like,
Yeah.
it's just easier. Like, you're already doubling up your money with
Yeah.
selling it to me for 30, 38, 35 a 10, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was 38 a 10. So you're already doubling up your money. So you could do one of two things. You could just let it go, or you could be, and um, I don't want to say greedy, but that's kind of like the right word.
Mhm.
It's like, you're kind of being greedy at that point. Like for example, me, like let's say I was in that position where I just caught a bunch of stuff retail.
Yeah.
What would I rather do? Try to sell everything for like my top price, or find someone who's trying to buy
Yeah.
and just be like, you know what, bro? I'll shoot you under resale, but over retail. That
Yeah.
way I make my money, you get everything, and then like that way we could work with each other.
Yeah.
Like that. That's what I would do. But I mean, some people are just a little more stingy and like,
Mhm.
you know, they don't really like working out deals.
Yeah.
So
Some people, I mean, again, it comes down to like their capital, what they value, their time, right? Like, if they
Mhm.
have the capital to hold it, but they really want that top dollar, like, yeah, I get it, but I don't think it's worth
yeah,
the $4 fucking. You know what I mean? Like my
yeah,
philosophy is like, I want somebody to buy from me, feel like they're not gonna get robbed, and think
yeah,
that, okay, well, at least I didn't pay that price. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, I don't care to get top dollar. Like, I want people to be sitting there going, fuck, I really wish I got this regularly, but I'm happy that I got it from this guy because this is a good price, And
yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
yeah,
that's like, at the end of the day, like, you know, you're you're essentially paying people for their time, right? Like, I understand
yeah.
like the aspect of like hating on scalpers. I really do. And if it wasn't for bots, like, I think it would be like a different world. But the
Mhm.
world that we currently live in, like, it caters to bots. And like, at the
Yeah,
end of the day, like, I don't fucking hit shit on bots. So like,
yeah,
like, I'm giving the same chance that everybody else has. I'm just putting in the time and the effort.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, like, I definitely, I feel for people. It
Mhm.
sucks, but at the same time, like, living in New York City sucks too. Like,
Yeah.
like,
I mean, yeah, same thing with LA. I'm telling you, like everything out here is backdoored. Like I know I've seen stuff that's freshly stocked.
mhm,
I remember last time I caught the lady. She was stocking the she, yeah, she at Target actually. Oh yes, this was the second time. This was actually recently.
mhm,
It was like 3 weeks ago.
mhm,
So this lady, she was stocking the shelves, and freshly stocked. No one had touched it yet. I was able to get like 3 Champions Path and 3 Vivid.
Mhm.
Looked at the sports. Sports was freshly stocked. There was no NBA hoops. There was no Prism football.
Mhm.
Where's it at? You guys are getting the shipment,
Yeah.
Like I know it's just sitting in the back. So
Yeah.
that's the thing, Like in hot areas like a LA area, and
Yeah.
I'm like 60 miles north of LA, so I'm not in LA,
Mhm.
but I'm pretty close. It's like the same thing,
Yeah.
It's just everything's backdoored, which sucks.
I haven't
But
even seen
I
shit
mean,
on
I get
shelves.
it's the
I've
yeah,
never seen shit on shelves. Never. At
yeah.
least you're seeing some shit on shelves. I like.
Yeah, and that's the thing, cause dude, and you know what happened was, cause I'll loop around, but one of my boys went to go loop. He was like, "Bro, they have stuff here."
Mhm.
So I was down the street, so I was like, "Boom!" I dipped over there as quick as I can, and then sure enough, it was there. I was like, "Sweet," But I mean, outside of that one time, and that first time with the mosaic,
Mhm.
I've never copped
Yeah.
resale. It's crazy, bro.
All right. Last question.
Mhm.
Digimon. Where are we going? What are we doing?
It's going up, bro. And it sucks is I slept on. I've been sleeping on a lot of stuff. I'm not even gonna lie,
Mm.
but I did want to. I saw that one a little too late. I mean, this is where I'm talking about where it's good and bad.
Mhm.
That like my business is booming. It's good because I'm like, all right, cool. I'm getting more traffic, getting more people hitting me up, more people
Mhm.
buying and stuff. So I'm spending a lot of time organizing and like buying cards, selling cards, whatever the case be. But
Mhm.
it's bad because I'm missing things like this. So like the Digimon thing, 100% a go. Anything first edition is a go.
Mhm.
I think with COVID, there's a whole new generation of collectors.
Yeah.
And I feel like cards aren't yeah, it like for example with the 25-year anniversary, Pokemon might peak at that,
Mhm.
but it's not going away.
No.
I think cards is back for good, especially with sports cards. Like for example, football. My uncle was telling me that the LeBron card. Yeah, I bring my uncles up a lot. Like he was into sports heavy. He told me like, dude, football back in the day, if it wasn't a quarterback, it was trash.
Yeah.
Like you want that longevity. If
Mhm.
it wasn't a auto card, it was trash. Like people don't care about base cards.
Mhm.
Like dude, you have base freaking Prism, Justin Herbert selling for like $200 raw, a
Yeah.
freaking base card. Like it's unheard of.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like it's just a whole new generation of collectors.
Mhm.
Um, and I think it's things like Digimon. I think it's 100% a go,
Mhm.
especially the first edition. Like the closer you get to
OG.
the OG, the better.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with it. I remember watching Digimon growing up. I don't remember any of the characters now. Kind of like Yu-Gi-Oh. I remember playing Yu-Gi-Oh growing up, like the
Yeah.
cards. I played it legit and everything.
Yeah.
Like now, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Only thing that really stuck was Pokemon.
Mhm.
Pokemon is just in a league of its own, but I
Yeah.
do think Digimon is a go. Because actually, check this out. So over here at Frankensons,
Mhm.
all these guys have accounts with all these card suppliers.
Yeah.
So these guys were talking about. Ask one of the guys like, "Yo, so what's good? Like, you guys getting Digimon?"
Mhm.
They were like, "Bro, really?" They were like, "I wish I could get Digimon. Like, don't expect any Digimon here at my store." He's like, "That stuff is fire." So I was like, "Dude." And those are things where it's like, I do believe Digimon is a go. This is a funny thing too. One of my boys, he was like, so I was like, so what's good, guy? Like on a live, I was like, what's good, guys? What you guys trying to rip?
Mhm.
And then they were like, you got Digimon? And I was like, and it threw me off guard. I was like,
Fuck is
how
Digimon?
do he know about Digimon? So I was like, nah, bro, like it's impossible to get it. And he was like, wait, they actually have Digimon? I
Mhm.
was like, dude, like, things like that. But I mean, I think Digimon's 100% a go. I
Yeah.
think cards is it's the new wave.
Mhm.
You have all these shoe heads transitioning over to cards now also.
Yeah.
And card people pulling up to shoes. Like there's a lot of it's just a new time, dude.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think I'd say cards 100% a go. I'd say Digimon's a go
Yeah.
also. Um
I think
and
card people are old fucking shoe people. Like that. They're the same fucking person. It's just a different generation. That's my personal
yeah,
take. Like,
yeah.
because every one of them, like, they're just such like snobby people of like, you haven't been here for long enough. Why do you get caught? Like, and like, yeah, again, I don't touch
Yeah.
fucking cards. I ripped those 3 fucking Chrome boxes and I'll never do it again. Fuck Topps Chrome and whatever. But the people who are buying those cards, you're gambling, right? You're buying
Yeah.
shit, and you're definitely fucking reselling, or you're trying to trade for your card that you think is the holy grail. Like people who are
Yeah.
like big, like my dad's not a big sports fan, so I didn't grow up with cards like that, right? Like I got some, whatever, but like, dude, they're the same. It's the same thing. If you trade something or if you flip some shit in a week or a month, you're doing the same shit as somebody selling the raw product. And now even the old heads are still flipping the raw product. So what the fuck is the
Yeah.
difference? Like I don't know. I just, for me with
I
like the
agree with
cards,
that though.
I think a lot of people are just like hypocrites, and I get it. Like they're not happy about the situation, and so they kind of lash out, and I get
Mhm.
it. I wish that I saw anything fucking retail. I've never seen shit in a store before in terms of like any kind of sports card. So, but that's my rant.
Yeah, no, I mean, shoot, I feel it also because,
Mm,
like I said, outside of those, I mean, because I've been doing the actual card thing because I had stopped collecting Pokemon for a while. So back in 2016
mm,
to like 18 ish. Oh no, 2015 to like 2018 ish. I
mm,
was doing cards. Um, so once I got back into it, which was around like September,
mm,
I've only hit those 2 times at Target.
yeah.
One time I did get a solid haul from Walmart,
Mm,
but I mean outside of those 3 times, and those were the only times. It was one time at Walmart, 2 times at Target, and then one of the times at Target they didn't even have all the good stuff out.
yeah.
So it was just like, bro, it's tough. It,
Mm,
it it is discouraging at times, but I mean that's where
it's a game.
it's the game, yeah. It's kind of like like reselling, people who resell shoes. That's fine, but like let's say okay, these shoes are selling for like 450. So if you see someone selling them for like anywhere between 410 and like 430, you're like, "Oh, that's a pretty good deal. I could get
Yeah.
those and sit on them." That's
Mm,
that's the thing with it. That's
yeah.
that's cards right now.
Yeah.
It's knowing which products are good, knowing which players are good. That's the biggest thing. Like the best thing that could happen to cards for the next year, which is already happening, is Lamelo's balling out.
Mm,
So everyone's like, "Thank you, Lamelo," because now these boxes are going up in price.
mm,
He's the like the sole reason. And yeah, there's other players too, absolutely. But like with all this buzz, especially with like his dad doing that phenomenal marketing,
yeah.
getting his name out
Fucking hate
there.
his
I
dad.
mean, yeah, seriously, it's like you hate it, but you got to respect the
Yeah.
hustle. Like it worked. So
Mm,
things like that, like he's the most talked. Dude, freaking House of Highlights posting him like this phenomenal pass by Lamelo, and I was like, that was a sick pass, but the dunk was even sicker.
yeah.
But things like that. So shout out Lamelo because now prices for the next year are gonna be up, which is there's always good and bad with everything.
Mm,
It just depends on like what you're gonna do about it. Because, for example, I've had people tell me like, I posted a TikTok, right?
mm.
I was like, yo,
There's the age difference.
yeah. He's like, man, we're doing all right so far. So, and the reason why I got TikTok, my girl was like, dude, you got to do it. And
Mm,
I actually posted one where like it got like over 20,000 views. And I was like, damn, dude. I was like, let's go.
yeah.
Or whatever it was. So, I mean, it was pretty cool. So, I'm just trying to get my name out. However, there's
Mm,
people on there who are like, scalper, I could get that box for like $60. When other people are like, oh, bro, like that's not bad prices.
yeah.
Because you have the people who so here's the thing with everyone who calls everyone else scalpers. Like I said, I'm not trying to disrespect people. Maybe it's just like they don't know, but it's like scalpers just look at retail prices. I
Yeah.
look at retail prices too. I look at the fact that NBA hoops is $20.
Yeah.
Why can't I get it for less than 40?
Yeah.
So we're all in the same boat. It's just
Mm,
that's why some people, there's 3 types of, or there's kind of, let's say 2 types of people for the scalpers aspect. There's people who call other scalpers. There's people who know the market and know it's really not scalping.
yeah.
Like, okay, it can be scalping,
Yeah.
but ultimately the whole market, the market's trending at this rate.
Yeah.
So why is it gonna, it's kind of like mochas. Like, how ridiculous would it be if someone came and they're like, "Bro, really? You're selling mochas for $500?
What
That's
for
stupid." They can't.
190?
Yeah, they were selling for 190. It's like, that's the market,
Yeah.
bro. Like, what can you do about it?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. People who who complain about scalpers, you just gotta look at the market.
Mhm.
True. I mean, someone tells me, bro, I could get freaking hidden fates for $80, bro. Go bring me all the hidden fates for $80. I'll buy them for 120
Done.
off you, 130.
Yeah.
Done deal. No question asked.
Yeah.
Like, it's that simple. So, I mean, like I said, I'm not saying that to anyone who, I mean, it is what it is. People are gonna take it how they want to, but ultimately, it's the market. You
Yeah.
gotta, there's a market for everything, and that's
Mm.
how it is for cards. It's always been like that. It's just now that everyone wants to be in cards,
Yeah.
they're starting to see.
Well, and if there was no scarcity, who the fuck would want the cards? Yo, if there's a
Yeah,
million LeBron autographs, a billion,
yeah,
is it still worth the same? No. If everybody has it,
exactly.
it's
They
not
wouldn't
worth
care.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, it's
absolutely.
part of the game. Scarcity is part of the game. It's built in. It's like
Yeah,
it is what it is. All news is good news, right? Like, that's part of what's going on as far as like this shit is, in my
yeah,
opinion, at least with like the cards. Like,
yeah. No,
it's talked
feel it,
about,
hundred
right? Like,
percent.
it's pop culture at this point. So, kudos to the business. That's all my questions. You got anything
All
for
right, for
me?
sure. Shoot, no, I want to, thank you because it was. I mean, when you hit me, I was a little intimidated. I was like, dang, I've only seen people like Dan over here. I've seen all these hot shots. Chokes interview was dope with his whole magazine and stuff. But I mean, shoot, I do appreciate it. You bringing me on.
Hmm.
It's I mean, something I've never done before, but it's cool. I'm a talker. Pretty
Yeah,
sure you could tell, but
yeah.
I like it. So thank you again for having me on. And shoot, bless up. I'm glad that I'm a part of your channel growing also.
Thanks, man. I
I
appreciate the
appreciate
time.
it.
Shout
Yeah,
out
no problem.
your socials, because I mean, I guess the
Oh
twenty
yeah.
thousand you probably don't need my little ass help, but if you got socials and shit, throw it up,
Nah,
talk it up.
you know what? Where's I have on my break tables. Oh no, I have some right
The
here.
business card, yeah.
Oh baby.
Big fan
Check
of
this out. So it's your boy once again.
it.
Grimy Breaks. This is my business card. This
Very
is the
nice.
back and the front. Here we go. Grimy Breaks card breaker. It might be backwards, but
No, no, no. It's clear. It's clear.
oh,
It's the
okay,
right way.
cool.
Yeah. No,
So
that's sick.
yeah. So
So what is it? Grimy breaks on IG. I can't read
mhm.
the
So
bottom.
it's
Brandon
yeah,
Galvez
Grimy Breaks
at.
on. Yeah, so I have Instagram and TikTok are Grammy Breaks, and
Mm,
then I have like PayPal, Zelle, and Cash App. That way people see
mm,
the form of payment that I take. And
gotcha.
yeah, so it says Card Breaker, Buy Sell Trade, Pokemon, and Sports Cards, Live Rips, Breaks, and Razzes. And for anyone who doesn't know what Razzes are, basically raffles. It's just due to I want to say legal issues. They're
Yeah.
Razzes. Yeah, but I mean, yeah. So that's what I do. I do card breaks on mainly Pokemon, but I also do uh, sports. So
Mm.
main thing Pokemon, but I'm trying to transition over to sports, do a little more sports as
Mm.
well.
And what
So I
days are
mean,
you
shoot,
breaking?
hit me up. I break Tuesdays and Fridays at 7 p.m. Pacific time, and then every once in a while, like every week or 2 weeks, I'll jump on live on a week. Like a weekend or just
Mm,
randomly, I'm trying to do little pop-up ones here and there also, like I'll post a Raz, like Champions Path ETBs, let's
mm.
run this Raz, rip everything. So I mean, yeah, check me out.
Nice.
Um,
You got to get
and
on
we'll see
Twitch,
what's
bro,
good.
too. You got to do them simul. You
Yeah.
got to do the simulcast.
Yes, bro. Yeah, that's something that I mean, that's why I want to upgrade my rig also because
Mm,
I would like to do the Twitch thing because Instagram's been great, but I
yeah.
mean, if I could transition over to Twitch, it'd be a great thing.
Yeah. I mean, yo, like, for me personally, if you can monitor the chats, I think that you should try and do, the Twitch, Facebook Live, like, go live in a group or go
Mhm.
live on a Facebook page, like that kind of thing, and then have IG going at the same time. And if you can manage the chat or have
Mhm.
somebody manage the chat, like, like that's, maybe you have to hire a mod and pay him, I don't know, $5 an hour or some shit to like sit and chill with you, and or give him
Yeah,
a couple packs every now and again. But just in terms of sorting out. Sorry,
you know,
my dog just adjusted himself.
it's all
um,
good.
but just in terms of sorting like who buys what pack. But dude, I mean, I want to have you on because expert in the field and well spoken and blast to talk
Yeah,
to you. So kudos.
absolutely. Yeah, thank you again very much for having me, and shoot, have a great one. Bless up, and I will be sharing this up on the page also.
Thanks, man.
Hopefully get some people over. Check it out. Check out the podcast. We'll see what's good.
All right, thanks, man.
All right, cool. No problem. Have a good one.
You too.
What's up, guys? same energy 30 seconds later from the intro. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I had a blast. I hope you guys liked it too. I hope you guys had everything you wanted in terms of coverage as far as the sports cards and the Pokemon cards, the Digimon cards, up and coming. You know it. Check it out. If you guys have any questions, I will pass them along to Grimey. I will respond to you in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe. As always, appreciate it. Have a good one. Be safe. Later.